My name is Victor Towns. I am 22 years old as of yesterday. I go to the illustrious Virginia State University. As all HBCUs like to throw that adjective in there. I'm a political science major with a minor in philosophy. I'm really interested in the intersection between applied ethics as they relate to machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Knowing that you're the only person on the ship with your experience, how do you find ways to fit in?
That's a good question. I think that I find ways to fit in by trying my hardest to not. So I know that, coming on this voyage, I have a very, unique perspective on the world, a unique skill set. And so I didn't try so much to fit in, but really just, express who I am and kind of let anybody that, is like-minded, to gravitate towards me. So it wasn't so much just trying to fit in as it was, creating my space to stand out. Yeah.
I love that. How have you contributed to the shipboard community?
So I have this game, We're Not Really Strangers. That game right there, let me tell you. We played that game the very first night that we were on the voyage, and immediately it was like some people I felt like I had known them for months already, and it was only the first night. I feel like that's been a really big contribution to the shipboard community because so many people have been asking me to borrow my game or like, hey Victor, can you come play the game with us? And that game, it's really an introspective game, and it's great to play with a group of people because you get to know them a lot better, but you also get to know yourself. And I feel like on a journey like this, where everybody's kind of experiencing something new, it's really great to understand who you are within that space. So I think that's a pretty positive contribution.
Have you been gravitating towards others who are similar to you, and have you been open and engaged in meeting new people?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Woman behind the camera, Lauren, yes. I have been gravitating towards people that are like me. It's been great, meeting so many amazing people on this voyage and just so many people who, it's weird because it's like there's so many people that want to see the best in you and you want to see the best in them, and you've only known each other for 2 months now, and it's like these are people that you're like, I want to see you succeed, and it's not like a superficial type of thing, like it's genuine, it's authentic. So I've definitely been seeing a lot of that. I've been gravitating towards those people. They've been gravitating towards me. I tell any and everybody, if you've got friends or anybody wants to come and meet me, my room number is 5065. So you can just knock on the door at any time, and I'm always down to talk to people. I'm always ready and happy to meet new people. So yeah.
How do you define an international student, and do you consider yourself an international student?
First of all, to define an international student, I think that would be a student literally from anywhere that is engaged in international cultures, international affairs, but more than just on the academic level, really on the social, the cultural level. Somebody that wants to immerse themselves into a new country, a new region, a new ethnic group. I believe that we're all international students. I do consider myself an international student, especially now, just because now I've been to actual places outside of my home country. So yeah, I definitely would.
Do you have an outlet to express yourself on the ship, and do you feel seen and heard?
An outlet, man. I do a lot of journaling, so I would definitely consider that an outlet for myself on the ship. Like I said, I'm pretty open and pretty personable and friendly, so I like to just go out and talk to people. I have no problem doing that, and also playing the game We're Not Really Strangers. I want them to sponsor me. I really do, as you can tell, I do. But yeah, I feel like I'm seen and heard. So on the ship, diversity is not the best. We know that. But do I feel seen and heard? I do, and I know that's kind of crazy. Some people are going to be like, what are you talking about, when they see this, but personally, me, Victor Towns, I do feel seen and I do feel heard. Anytime that anything arises that I have an issue with, I have a very strong support system. A lot of people that I can go and talk to on the ship. I've got friends, and then also back home, I can just go vent to my family. But just focusing on the ship, yeah, I do believe that I am seen and heard.
How have you reassessed or assessed the privileges you may have had before arriving to the ship?
Yo, all right. How did you think of these questions? These are good questions. Yeah, so I really took so many things for granted before I got on the ship. A lot of things, like I took a lot of things for granted, and then there's also a lot of instances where I've seen things in countries that have like just blown my mind. I think one of the biggest things though that I took for granted would be family time. You always think, oh, like they're my family, like they're fine if I don't talk to them this one time, like it's cool. But then like you get on the ship and you have no Wi-Fi and you're stuck in the middle of the ocean and you're on a ship with a whole bunch of people that you don't know, and like everything just starts like crashing in around you, and it's like, man, who do I talk to? And it's at those times where you want to lean on your family most, but you can't. And so, I was actually just talking about this because my birthday was yesterday, and the Wi-Fi for me was not working, so I couldn't even talk to my family on my birthday, and I was just like, man, this sucks, like this really sucks. And I think that's one of the, luxuries that I really took for granted is that, when you have the opportunity to talk to your family, talk to them as much as you can. I just mean, talk to your family as much as you can. I really do, love my family, and I tell them that every single time that I do talk to them. But I'm a person that talks to my family every single day. Like back in the States, like every single day, I'm talking to my grandma, I'm talking to my mom, I'm talking to my sister. I'm talking to somebody in my family every single day. So to not be able to do that here is just like, oof. At those times where, I'm just like, I'll talk to them later in the day or something like that. Like, no, talk to them right then and there. So I definitely took that for granted.
What is the difference of your experience at your home university versus the semester at sea community?
Okay. My home university, conventional classroom setting. You go to class, after class, you do some homework, next day rolls around. Semester at sea, I'm not even going to say it's a little different, it's a lot of different. We have class on weekends. It was the craziest thing in the world when I was hearing about it, and I was like, there's no way I could have class on a Saturday or Sunday. Like, those are days for me. But what you come to realize is that Saturdays and Sundays aren't even the worst days. You just end up not knowing what day it is. Like, you literally don't know what day of the week it is. Like, we'll get in a port on a Monday, and like people like won't be out anywhere, and then it'll be like 8:30 or 9, and you're like, okay, like let's go to like a jazz club or something, and it's like, why is there nobody out? And it's like, dude, it's a Monday, go home. So like stuff like that. And I can't keep track of the days. Also it's weird seeing your professors in the same places that you go to relax. I go to the gym and like I'm working out next to my professor that just gave me an F on a quiz, and I'm just like, didn't want to see you here. I kind of came here to escape you, but it's fine, it's cool. But yeah, it's weird, but it's also cool because you get to, you understand that they're people too, which I mean, that's no dig at any of my professors. I love my professors, I do. But yeah, it's cool to actually see that they are real people too, and they have real lives, and to see them interact with their families, their loved ones, it's something that I didn't see, because back in my home institution, it was like, okay, you give me an F, all right, I'm going to the gym, and I'm not going to see you until like 2 days when we have class again, whatever. And then here, it's like, oh, we're eating dinner now together. Okay, all right. So, yeah, it's an experience.
How do you manage yourself in a way that's respectable in other countries, and what do you do to listen and learn more in said countries? So interestingly enough, before I went on semester at sea, like I had some experiences where I was like, I know I'm in a simulation. So for example, I was in an Uber ride, and like my Uber driver was from Birmingham, where our final port is going to be, and
he was just like, yeah, like I'm from there, so like I can tell you other places. He gave me his WhatsApp number, and I was like, oh, okay, like you're a cool guy. But he told me that the way that U.S. Americans stand out so much is that they talk so much, and he was like, you just need to be quiet. That's it. That's what you'll notice. You'll stand out if you talk too much. So every time that I go into a new port, like I try my hardest to just like zip it, like just be quiet, just be there, because like I already stand out, right? So from what I've seen on the voyage so far, and of course I can only speak on experiences that I've had, aren't a lot of people that look like me overseas where we were at. Okay, so it was like already people were just like all eyes were on me anytime I stepped into a room. So then it was like, I don't want to go in there and then be like the loud U.S. American on top of that. And then they're like, oh man, this guy. And then they're saying all these things like, no. So like, and I even tell my friends that too. Like some of my friends can get a little bit chatty and I'm like, all right, let's tone it down. I'm not trying to have people staring at me like I'm crazy or anything. But yeah, that's definitely one way in which, I've noticed, because it's like when I'm quiet and I'm able to just observe, the ways in which people live their lives overseas is dramatically different from how we live it in the States. Like it's crazy. There's just this focus on life instead of work, and the aspect of family and community, and compassion, and it's so many amazing and beautiful things. And like there are similarities with the States, but there are a lot of differences, and it's like it's really a different world. And it's nice, so not talking over that is very peaceful. Yeah.
What was the biggest culture shock when you got onto the boat?
Ooh. Biggest culture shock. So I think off the bat, the biggest like shock to my system was that there were not a lot of people that look like me. I said this before. It was like, boom, you're here. How many students we have? Like 430 something.
Yeah.
Like
500 something total on the ship.
Right.
450 students.
See, like when I first got on the ship, and it was crazy because there were a lot of people that weren't on the ship yet. And the craziest part is a lot of people that weren't on the ship were the people that I was looking for. That was kind of wild. I was like, this is. But aside from that, it was like I got on the ship. There were so many people that like I could count the people that looked like me on the ship, one hand, and it was like I'm really here. And then it was like when we got into country, that first port, Greece, Athens, it was like, ooh, I'm really here. Like it was kind of wild, but yeah, that was definitely like the first culture shock. I think that was the first, I wouldn't say negative culture shock, but it was the first eye-opening culture shock. But undoubtedly the first positive culture shock was on the first day. The first people I actually ran into were the international students, and they are phenomenal. They're phenomenal. I mean, just hearing their accents, hearing them speak in their native languages, and just talking with them about their experiences. Like I just lit up. I just had this energy because they have such good energy. Like it was great just hearing about their experiences, and that's really what this entire journey is about. And that's like really like after that moment I was like, oh yeah, I do like this. This is a good time right here, because it's like not only do I get experiences and to understand the cultures of our international students, but also when we go into port, I can understand the cultures, the traditions, the languages, the lifestyles of people, of the citizens, the residents and the locals that live in these places. And it's phenomenal. It's a feeling unlike any other. So yeah.
What has been the most positive thing about semester at sea?
The most positive thing about semester at sea would definitely be how it's impacted me, and my mindset. I love meeting all these new people, like I said before, meeting all these new people, experiencing all these new different cultures, and just seeing how the world is a different place in different regions around the world. But
really it's broadened my horizons. It's changed my perception of the world. You know, I didn't realize how naive I was about so many things, and you know how narrow-minded I was until I got out here. You know, now that my mind, you know, has been expanded, it's like it can never go back to its original size. And I think that that's definitely been the best thing about it, because it's an experience unlike any other. I mean, we're going to what, 13 countries, 12, 13 countries, 12 countries in a 4 month span. And I get like snapshots of places. I get to see some things that, you know, places that even myself haven't dreamt of, you know, and like nobody in my family has ever traveled abroad. I'm the very first person to do it. And so, you know, it's like all my friends, all my family, you know, their hopes and dreams and all their support has like led me to this one moment. And it's like I'm here and I'm just learning and absorbing so many different things, and it really is incredible. And like this experience is just it's definitely one where you got to roll with the punches, because man, they've been giving us some blows, but this is an opportunity and an experience that I would not trade for anything in the world. Yeah.
The very last question. What is one thing you wish you would have heard before embarking on this voyage?
One thing I would have... you know, I don't think that there's anything that could have been said to me before, you know, getting on this voyage. Like, you just gotta experience it. I've noticed that a lot, actually, you know, within my own videos. Like, I've like stopped like recording because once you start like living it, you're just in the moment. And when you're in the moment more and more, you know, it's just like, man, like this is really incredible. So I'm actually gonna like tweak that a little bit. If I could say something to maybe someone else who wants to go on this journey, or you know, maybe even if I could talk to my younger self or something, you know. Well, no, I mean that's the same question, yeah. But no, just enjoy the moment, enjoy the little things, and take a second, because you're gonna have a lot of different instances where you'll be like sitting somewhere, like in a country, like at a restaurant, and then just like randomly it's like boom, like wait a second, I'm sitting in Athens in a restaurant. It's like 3 p.m. What the heck am I doing? Like it's the craziest thing ever. I kid you not. Like I was literally sitting there and I was like, there's no way that this is real. Like I'm really just sitting here. Like, and I was just like looking around at everybody and I was like, wait a second, what the heck? And it's like, no, like you're not just gonna pack up your things and then, you know, just go back to your apartment, go back to your house. Like, no, like you're overseas, you're in a different country. So yeah, those little moments, and I keep having them. It's not something that's just gonna happen and you're just gonna forget. Like, it hits you at the most random times. So it's fun. It's like scary, but it's really comforting. It's really nice. But yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.